Morning folks, welcome back to the channel. It is the day after I wrestled with the Lexus and the OBD reader to no avail. Well, I say to no avail, it finally gave me an error code which suggested that the 0 point calibration, whatever that is, the 0 point calibration was faulty. But it also said that a common cause of that fault is when the battery's been run down very low. And our regular viewers of the channel will know that I got this car from an old gentleman in London who hadn't driven it, and when I picked it up the battery was flat, so we had to jump start it. We had all sorts of problems getting the key to recognise the car, and the immobiliser was on, and then the alarm kept going off, all due to the fact that the battery had got very low. Now, having driven it around for 3 weeks, the battery seems to have recharged. I did trickle charge it myself when I got it back to North Yorkshire, and it's been as right as rain ever since. So I haven't had to replace the battery, which I thought I would have to do, and having bought the car for £1,000 it was no big deal. Anyway, I haven't. It's a solid Bosch battery, and by the look of it it's fine. However, it says that one of the reasons for the 0 point calibration on a Lexus GS300 to go wrong is if you let the battery get too low, then it causes an error code. So, I can fix that, would you believe, with a paperclip by all accounts. Now, it may well be that it's still the ABS rings at the back, and as I say, regular viewers will know from the previous episode, that's what we think it is. But I asked Chat GPT, you know what I'm saying, I asked AI what the issue was and how to resolve it. When I told it what the OBD reader had said, it said, ooh, it's unlikely to be a hardware fault. It might be, but it's unlikely to be a hardware fault, and if the battery's been run flat, which it has, it's more likely to be the 0 point calibration tool, which is in the centre of the car apparently, underneath the centre console, nothing to do with the ABS rings at the back. It may just need recalibrating. And the way to do that is to open the OBD port and basically stick a paperclip into hole number 4 and hole number 13, and then repeatedly press the brake pedal. Seriously? Well, apparently so. I've checked that on the forums, and again, that seems to be the way forward. So, I'm going to drive down to the kit car factory where the apron outside the workshop door, factory door, is absolutely flat. Because the car needs to be on the flat in order to do the calibration, and my gravel hillside driveway at home doesn't constitute flat. So I'll head on down there. When I get there, we'll park it on the flat and give it a go. Nothing ventured, nothing gained, and if it doesn't work, we're back to plan A, which is to take the back wheels off and have a look at the sensors. Right, join me when I get there. Okay folks, I've got the DJI Action 4 set up on a tiny little tripod. I'm holding it in my hand at the moment, and I've done a little drawing as directed by Chat GPT to show me where the 2 ports I've got to bridge are with a paperclip of all things. So I'm going to try and set you up now down in the footwell. Apologies if it's a bit dark. I'll do my best, and we'll see if we can't bridge those 2 socket holes. Don't know what you'd call them really. Ports, port within a port, you know what I mean. 4 and 13. And then follow the instructions, which basically says that I've got to ensure the car is on the flat, which it is, the steering wheel's straight, which it is, and the ignition is on, but the engine is off, which it will be in a second before in fact, let's do that now. So ignition on, all the lights are flashing. We won't have the warning light up, of course, because it has to do a meter or 2 before that comes into effect. But it isn't telling me to do that. It's telling me to now bridge hole 4 and hole 13, and then press the brake, would you believe, 8 times or more, which I guess I can do with my hand when I'm down in the footwell. If this works, it's a bit like patting your head and rubbing your tummy at the same time, isn't it? If this works, I'll be absolutely amazed. And over the moon, so let's give it a go. Right, let's get the door open. Give it a go. What have we got to lose? Right, so sorry about that. You've been rattled around there, haven't you, for a moment or two, but for anyone trying to execute this procedure, it's probably worth it.
So the widest part of the port, which is this section here, as opposed to the shortest part, that section there, I'm looking for port 4. Hang on, be upside down. 1, 2, 3, 4. Stick me pin in. And then the next one, I'm looking for port 13, starts at 9. 10, 11, 12, 13. Slightly offset as suspected. Now pressure boot. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Keep going. Right, it's beeping at me. Now what do? Turn the ignition off. Remove the jumper wire. Start engine and confirm. Right, let me get hold of you. Come back to normality in some way. If this works, as I say, I'll be absolutely gobsmacked. But who knows? Right, we're in. It beeped, which is a good sign, I suppose, isn't it? Right, keys in the ignition. Ignition's on. I'm in a private car park here at the factory's industrial estate, so I think I can afford to have a go at driving one-handed in an automatic and see if this light comes on. Now, we know normally we don't get the error code. Take the handbrake off. We don't get the error code until we've been driving for a few metres, and I have no idea whether it comes on if you're going backwards or not. And we are currently going backwards, so it would normally now, I'm in drive, going forwards, it would normally now come on, and it has. Oh, we didn't have to go far, did we? So that didn't work. Okay, so that simply hasn't worked, does it? Might it be worth giving it another go? If I drive to here, back where we were, turn that off, then back on again. So that's the ignition on. It's gone off now, as normal. I'll give that one more go off camera and then report back. You've seen what I was doing. I think I did everything right. So I'll give it another go off camera and then report back and tell you how I'm getting on. Okay, folks, well, as you can clearly see, that hasn't worked. The VSC light is still on. Well, I say it hasn't worked. What happened, I don't know if it happened the first time, but I definitely noticed it the second time. When I inserted the jumper lead, pressed the brake 8 times, on the 8th or 9th time I got a beep to suggest that the process had worked, turned the car off, and it did actually drive for a little bit further than normal before it identified a problem and the VSC off and VSC light came back on again. So I suspect what's happening is we are in fact clearing the problem, but then it is identifying that there is still a problem. And in the literature here, in fact it's not in this literature, this was a Muppets guide produced for me as a PDF by Chat GPT. But in the other feedback I got from the AI machine, the Chat GPT, it suggested what the other problems could be if it wasn't just the sensor in the armrest or under the armrest. And that went on to say that it's likely to be an ABS ring problem. So we're back where we started. We think it's an ABS problem still. So the next move will be to get the back wheels off, have a look at the condition of the ABS rings, because all things point to that as being the problem. Please click the like button, subscribe for more content of this nature. Join me again on the next one.